it's me, Kelly, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are doing my November TBR. Isn't that crazy to say that October is literally over? Like, Halloween is this week, and then it's November. Like, my brain can't comprehend. I still think it's like September, not Halloween. I don't know, this year it just feels not spooky that much, but we're going into a new month of November, which is crazy. And I have a new setup. Here we are. I have a bookshelf now of all my books, so I get to display them. I'm so happy. It looks so good. I literally just put it together this weekend, and I put all my books up here. So there's 3 shelves. You can't see the bottom shelf quite in the frame, but 3 shelves. We got romance, fantasy with like young adult like my favorite fantasies, which are mostly young adult fantasy, and then bottom is like just young adult fantasy, mystery, thriller, fiction, kind of Maj Podge, everything manga. But this it looks so good. I love it. I just put it together and was like, I need to show it off. There we go, for some TBR videos. But we do have the TBR jar. I did not put any new prompts in, so these are prompts that I've had for the past 2 months. I think I added some last month, but I think I'm gonna just choose what I got, so I didn't put any new prompts in here. I am gonna pick 6 prompts and pick a book, hopefully from the shelf that goes with this prompt, because that's the goal. And my new like philosophy with my books is, if I read a book and I don't really like it, I'm gonna get rid of it. So there's been a couple books already like the past year that I had still, but then when I was putting them up on the shelf, I was like, you know what, I don't think I'm ever gonna pick this up again to read, and I didn't really like it the first time I read it, so I think I'm gonna get rid of it. So I'm gonna unhaul it, whether it's like donating it or selling it to like half price books or putting it in a little free library, something like that, just so I can actually keep the books that I know that I like on a shelf. If you don't know how TBR jars work, there's a bunch of prompts that I wrote on pieces of paper. I'm gonna pick, let's do 6 of them, because I think I've been doing well with 6 books. I think it's a good amount of books for a month. I pick a prompt and then try to find a book that I currently own that goes with that prompt. If I don't own the book, I usually try to like Libby app it, or I check my library, something like that, to try to read it. So, but priority is the shelves for sure. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm super excited because there is one book I'm reading regardless of if it follows one of these prompts or not, and I will kind of explain it later because it might go with one of the prompts written on here. But if it's not, I'm still gonna add it to my TBR because it's like high priority, need to read it ASAP basically. So let's go ahead, and we're gonna do, I think the last time I would pick all 6 prompts and then pick the books, but I think I'm gonna do one at a time. So we're gonna pick a prompt, pick a book, pick a prompt, pick a book. Okay, so I'm gonna like shake these up. Okay. Some of them are like stuck together. Here we go. First prompt. What does it say? Book that starts with H. A book that starts with H. Okay. I already read Heartless, so I can't choose that. Can't read Hopeless because I haven't read Powerless or Reckless. Read A Happy Place. I've read all these. I have Hush Hush. I think that's the only one I have that starts with H. So we have Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick, which is funny because this was on my, I think, September TBR, and I did not get to it. So back on the TBR for November for a book that starts with H. Book number 2. It's kind of hard to move these around, but I'm gonna try my best. Okay. I don't want that one, I want this one. Okay. Oh, it's upside down. Middle grade book, which is great because I've been doing a challenge of reading middle grade books for the Maud Hart Lovelace nominees from Minnesota, and I do have 2 choices, so hold on. So I recently got Otter by Catherine Applegate, who is also the author of, I think she's the author of The One and Only Ivan, which is a really good book I've heard. I also have the audiobook for Across the Desert, and that is due in 4 days. So I think I'm going to choose that so I keep the audiobook. This is Across the Desert by Dusty Bowling. It's also one of the nominees, and it's a middle grade book. And I think I'm going to do that since it's due pretty soon. And I borrowed it on Libby, so I think I'm going to do that. Just so I have the chance to listen / read to it. So Otter will have to be saved for a later time. But we are gonna do Across the Desert by Dusty Bowling for a middle grade book. All right, we got 2 books down already. So let's see, I think I'm gonna look at the thing this time. And I think I'm gonna pick this one right on top, or this one. This one. We have a horror / thriller, which is great. Even though, you know, spooky season is technically over when Halloween is over, I have some thriller books and some horror books. Now, is The Maidens considered a thriller? I feel like because Alex McCladides, whatever his name is, usually writes like mystery type books, psychological suspense. Okay, so we have The Maidens by Alex McCladides. I don't know how to say his name. McCladides. He wrote The Silent Patient and The Fury, and I think another book maybe. I also have Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. But I think what I'm gonna do is The Violent Season by Sarah Walters. I got this recently, maybe like in September or August. Basically, it says on the back, that's what happened in Wolfridge every November. We were haunted by images and dreams of murdering strangers and friends and ourselves. Everyone knew it was real, but everyone pretended it wasn't. Oh, interesting. It is like a young adult horror / maybe like thriller type book. So I think I'm gonna put this one on the TBR for horror / thriller. 3 books down, 3 more to go. Okay. Next one we have, oh, I already read Goodreads Fall Rec. So that means I am going to look on Goodreads and see what fall rec they give me and see if I have it, because it'd be a shame if I don't have it. Okay, so I was like looking and I couldn't really find any books that I had that were very like fall rec or like on the fall recs for Goodreads. The only one that kind of came close, but it was just like books that are coming out during the fall time, was the second book of this, which I don't really see this as a fall book, so I think I'm gonna just discard this and redraw. I mean, don't hate me for doing this, but it's my TBR jar, and I think, you know, I don't really have that many fall reads, so I'm gonna just rip it up and say, nope, we're not reading anything fall, we're gonna just pick it again. Oh gosh. Okay, let's see. I'll do this one. What does this say? Book with orange on cover. Okay. Book with orange on the cover. It's part of your world. Well, okay, I have Famous for living, or yeah, famous for a living. I have the setup. I have a really, really big book. I don't think I want to read that though. So the two books that I have with orange on the cover, I have the setup by Lizzie Dent. And I got this because Emily Henry has a little like blurb right here saying, this book is everything I wanted and then some. The setup. Or I have Famous for a Living by Melissa Ferguson, and I just thought the cover was like super cute. It's like this is like an opposites attract. Like she's famous online, he knows nothing about technology. He's like a woodsman type deal. Doesn't like technology, loves technology, that type of deal. This one I think I'm leaning more towards, but this is a this one girl pretends she's impersonating a fortune teller, and she meets this handsome guy, and she's like, you're gonna meet the love of your life at this place at this time on this day, and it's gonna be her because she's setting herself up with him basically. So I think I'm gonna put this, the setup by Lizzie Dent. I've never read anything by this author, but I think the concept of this is really cute and fun. And like I said, Emily Henry has a little blurb on the front, and on the back she said, it says exactly the kind of summer read I'm constantly on the hunt for. I love, love, love Lizzie Dent. If you loved One Last Stop or Book Lovers or Schitt's Creek, you'll want this. It's not summer, but it is orange, and there's like a little fortune teller ball thing, so I'm gonna count it as it's gonna be put on the November TBR. That's what I'm trying to say, for a book with orange on the cover, because it is orange. We got 4 books. We need 2 more on the TBR. So let's see. Sorry, I should hold this up so you can see. Okay, whatever one falls. This one. We have oh, perfect. I usually keep graphic novel manga in since those are pretty fun to always read. I think I'm gonna put Death Note Volume 2 on, since I read Death Note Volume 1 last month, or for October. So these are just really quick reads, and I've watched the series, so this is technically not volume 2, but it's like the second in the black edition, which contain volume 3 and 4 of the original series. So yeah, this one doesn't start off in color, but I really enjoyed Death Note. It's one of my favorite animes. I'm just going to continue reading this. I don't have the 3rd or 4th, so I'll have to go and find those if I want to continue, which I know I will, but there we go. That's going on the TBR. Death Note for the 2nd time. I mean, different book, just continuing the series. We're on our last book, or last prompt. Want a good prompt. Let's see. I think I'm gonna pick, I want this one right here. Oh, but this one flew out at me. I'm not gonna choose that. I want this one that I'm digging for. Okay. Here we go, last prompt. We have author you never read. Or never, yeah, author you never read. So a new author. I have a lot of new authors on here. Tessa Bailey is a new author for me. I've never read any of her books, and she's pretty popular, I think, still. I could be wrong. Nope. I think we're just gonna pick the book that I was talking about for if it went with a prompt or didn't go with a prompt. 3, 4, 5, 6, because this is our last. I think for our prompt, an author you never read, I'm gonna do the book I was talking about at the beginning, where I was like, it's going on the TBR regardless if it follows a prompt or it doesn't. And since it does follow a prompt, author you never read, it can go with that prompt, and that is The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. I am borrowing this from a friend. She read it, and loved it and told me I have to read it next. It's top priority because she loved it so much. Like, she needed someone to talk to about it. So I'm excited. I love Greek mythology. I can't wait to read it. This is also like the sprayed edges edition where it's like literally gorgeous to read. And it has some artwork in it too. Gorgeous, absolutely stunning. But this author has a lot, so I'm hoping if I like this, I will continue reading her books. I'm pretty sure there's going to be another book of this, or like in the series. I think it's a series. So this is my top priority book that I have to start as soon as possible. So Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and just recap all the books that I have on my November TBR for you. We have The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen for a new author, or author I've never read before. For a manga or graphic novel, I am doing Death Note Black Edition 2, or Volume 2, which contain Volumes 3 and 4 in the original series. For a cover with orange on it, I'm doing The Setup by Lizzie Dent, with our nice fortune telling ball type thing. What is this called? Crystal ball. That's what it's called. For a horror thriller book, we're gonna do The Violent Season by Sarah Walters. For a middle grade book, we're gonna do Across the Desert by Dusty Bowling. And last but not least, for a book that starts with the letter H, Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick is back on the TBR. Just took a month break and then it's back on. So hopefully it gets read this month. Hopefully, we'll see. But those are all the books that I will be reading this month. For November. I am going to be doing an October wrap-up. That will probably be the next video up on my channel, so if you want to see my thoughts on the books that I chose for the October TBR, that will be up next week, so keep your eyes peeled for that video. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you subscribe. I post videos once a week, whether it's book content, music content, lifestyle, vlogs, travel, whatever I'm kind of doing in my life is kind of what I will put out as a video. So I hope you guys stick around and check it out. That's about it. Thanks for watching. Bye!